your social science teacher and all my dear friends. I am Disha Barvik alongside my project partner Arpit Sawant.
हाल फिलहाल में इंडिया में कई सारे प्रोटेस्ट ये समझना और भी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि डेमोक्रेसी क्या है। आज हम इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में डेमोक्रेसी का बात नहीं करेंगे। आज हम इंडिया के दो नेबर्स नेपाल एंड चाइना के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में डेमोक्रेसी को कंपेयर करेंगे। क्या उनमें डेमोक्रेसी है, क्या पॉलिटिकल फ्रेमवर्क है, क्या इशू है। The first question comes by, does the country hold regular elections?
Here comes the Nepal. Nepal holds highly competitive general elections at all levels using a mixed electoral system to ensure marginalized communities are represented. Citizens 18 plus can actively hold leaders accountable. So we can say, yes, regular multi-party elections are held in Nepal.
Now comes our powerful neighbor China. China doesn't hold free or competitive elections at the national level. Direct elections are legally permitted only at the lowest village tiers, but independent candidates face strict intimidation and preventing from the CCP. So we can say no, China doesn't hold free national elections. The second question, who chooses the head of the government?
Here comes the Nepal. The Prime Minister is formally appointed by the President. However, there must be leader of the party or coalition that successfully commands a majority in the electoral house of representatives. So we can say Prime Minister is appointed by a parliament or through President.
In China, while technically confirmed by a rubber stamp vote in the National Congress, the actual selection of the premier is predetermined entirely in advance through closed-door deliberations by the CCP's Politburo. So we can say the premier head of the country is not chosen by the people and elections are not free. Is there more than one political party in the country?
Here comes the Nepal. Power rotates among varied factors. Example, Nepali Congress, CPN, UML. In the 2026 elections, the newly formed Centrist Party, RSP, swept the elections, proving new parties can easily gain power. So we can say Nepal has very much free and fair elections and has vibrant multi-party system.
In China, it is governed exclusively by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Minor democratic parties exist on paper but are subservient to the CCP. Any organized political opposition is illegal against CCP. So we can say China doesn't have more than one party. It's an absolute one-party state. The fourth question. Does freedom to express opinions and criticize the government is given to the people?
Here comes the Nepal. Citizens constitutionally possess freedom of speech. When the government banned 26 social media platforms in 2025, massive youth-led protests forced the government to resign and reverse the ban completely. In Nepal, recently previous year, the government banned 26 social media platforms, but due to freedom of speech in Nepal, the citizens revoked the ban. So we can say Nepal has very high freedom protected by the citizens.
China. The state exercises monopolistic control over the information via the Great Firewall. Dissent is strictly criminalized under national security laws, resulting in surveillance, detention or disappearance. If you will criticize the government, you will disappear. It is a very common notion in China. So we can say people are given virtually none right to express their opinions or criticize the government. It's a total state control over information. How can we classify the system?
Here comes the Nepal, classified as partly free country. While it suffers from historical instability and institutional fragility, its citizens retain the ultimate robust power to vote out incumbents and demands accountability. So we can say Nepal is a partial democratic country which is functional properly.
China is always classified as not free. China is a rigid, consolidated authoritarianism. China is not like we all know. All the people are restricted. Every right can be revoked, and The regime is engineered to eliminate checks and balances, ensuring the ruling party is completely insulated from the public and has the supreme power to do anything they want. So we can say China is not democratic. Conclusion: the global governance spectrum.
Here comes Nepal's dynamic reality. A functioning albeit fragile democracy where citizens actively contest and reshape their reality, proven by historic youth-driven elections and mass protests.
China. As we talked before, China is a rigid authoritarian model where political agencies completely monopolized by a single entity, which is CCP in this case, strictly eliminating all civil pushback and opposition. You cannot criticize government or create political opposition for the CCP, or you will be jailed or will disappear.
Democracy is not a fixed standard, but a continuous process requiring active participation and protection to thrive.
As Rishabh said, democracy is not a fixed standard but a continuous